Okay. Um, so there is. I'm just demoing my tool, but there is of course a link with PKM because books are knowledge, and just for me as a visual person, seeing the cover, it triggers like, oh, this is what I need to know, want to know, have already read, maybe go back to that. So that's the link. That's why I wanted to do this talk here. Um, so uh, my app library consists of two main parts. Shall I just start a demo and we see what questions you come up with after that? First part is a book scanner. This is already online on GitHub. You can test it out, but everything I'm showing you is nowhere near complete yet. Um, First of all, let's go to the settings of the Bookspine scanner. Um, there is an OCR engine, OCR optical reading thingy. And if you are offline, Tesseract is not so good, but it works without any key. If you use Google Vision, you're gonna have to get a key. But it's free until 1,000 scans per month. So you need to fill in some kind of payment plan, but they're not gonna charge you. Then if you are, for example, in a shop like you were this morning, and you want to make note of a book that you saw, oh, I might want to buy this for myself or someone else, you can turn on barcode mode. Then you can choose what book database you want to use. Well, all, I would say, languages. Um, and then you can choose your own field names. So now we have seen we've got the Google Cloud Vision on and everything is set the way we like. We scan our first picture. You can do this on mobile and you just take a picture, but you can also upload from your mobile or desktop. Now it's guessing which books are in this picture. This still needs improvements. So we see a red cross is, okay, I've guessed it might be this, but not too sure about it. Orange, I've guessed it might be this. Pretty good chance this is actually the book. And green, yes, this is definitely the book. If you open up with the collapse button, you see title, author, possibly ISBN, publisher, year, language, tags, you can fill them out yourself, and the cover. So if you look here, this should be, yes, this is the right book. Okay, for the red books, it only takes preliminary title, because that might be the best shot. But this is actually the right book. This is Computers by Christian Wüster, so I'm gonna put this to orange, so it takes all the info. And this one, virtual reality, yeah, it's pretty good. I could correct the spelling error, but okay, I'll leave it for now for the demo. You can export all your book information. Oh, one more thing. I'm gonna put tags. I put an individual tag like status to read. And for all the books, I'm gonna put shelf upper left, comma, um, biographies. These are not all biographies, but just for the test. So genre / biographies. I can export them as Markdown, or I can export them in one big zip file, or I can do preview. Okay, here they are. So this one is by Manon Uphoff. Vallen is als vliegen. In Dutch, it took the tags and the scan confidence is medium. So as you can see, for those of you who work with Obsidian, this file can be used in Obsidian in a bookcase. Like it will display the, okay, there's one thing. Oh yes, the cover is here. So if you've got bases, do any of you use that? For you do it. But we're now going to use this in my tool Libiry. So this is a tool that you just run over your own book library. You say, okay, I've got these types of books. I don't want to see any other documents, so I put in XLS X as a test. You can, it's quite free format. You can put in anything, but the tool is designed for books. So if you have a start location, you can set that. You can set background color, font size, etc. So you can put on a fuzzy search. If you are on your mobile and you want just, if you are in the bookstore, you say, okay, which books do I have? You can turn off show tags to make it a bit faster. You can, again, choose your own field names. Okay, so these are files and folders from my book collection. There's no database, there's just cache memory. So if I go to this book and double click on it, it will just open in my default book reading app, in this case Calibre. So I try to keep it simple. Text is the main way of organizing, because that works for all Markdown, for EPUB, and with sidecar files, it can work for anything. A sidecar file is what, for example, Calibre uses as well. If you have a book, do you know how Calibre works? It has a folder structure where for every book it stores the metadata in a separate file and the cover in a separate file. And I've copied that way of working, but without the rigid folder structure. So, for example, I have here my test folder. I've got this book by Michelle Nichols, which, if you select only one book, you see the information on the bottom line. So this is a PDF. And like this, Sarah Pascoe is an EPUB. If I go to the folder on my system, so public books, my test folder, you see that Animal by Sarah Pesco is an EPUB, so all the metadata is stored inside the EPUB and the cover as well. For this one, AZW3, there is a sidecar file. And OPF is the same structure as Calibre uses. Only Calibre wants you to put these in a separate folder. And I don't like that it dictates how I manage my folders. So it has the exact same name as the book and .opf at the end. When you move the book in Library to a different folder, it will move the sidecar file and the cover file as well. So for PDFs, some metadata can be stored inside the PDF, and for some you need the sidecar file. Let me go back to the presentation. No, that was not my presentation. Did I close it? No, here it is. Okay, should be no loop. So what did I tell you already? Oh, I totally forgot to introduce myself. I'm a writer and, oh, it is in a loop. Okay, start again. Shall we do it like this so it stays on the page?
Don't worry.
Okay. So this is me, writer and software developer. I've written 2 novels. They're at the back. My website is called Soppelen.
Can you translate that for the non-Dutch speaker, what it means?
It means struggling, plowing on through, well, something about grit and perseverance. And SAP is the software I used to work with for a long time in my career. So it's auto-fiction, my 2 books. Documentation. So there's a library org, also still very much under construction. It tells you about Library, that's the main desktop app, which you could also use on your mobile, the Bookspine scanner, and there are 2 accompanying tools. There is this tool where you can move from Calibre to Library, which converts all the cover images and sidecar files to library naming convention, so that you are no longer stuck with the rigid folder structure and you can have your own folder structure. Then there's Library to Go, which if you have a big collection on your desktop or server and you are out and about with your mobile and you want to have an offline catalog of all your books, you can extract markdown files with all your book info to take with you on your phone. There's also a PDF check tool that makes sidecar files for all the PDFs that are protected, where you cannot store any metadata. So a bunch of tools. I took a lot of things from Calibre, like to work with OPF files, because Calibre works with OPF files. OPF files are what is inside of an EPUB. I can show you. Let's open up. Okay, let's open up this book. Oh, does not exist. Joanna Lumley then. Oh, of course, I cleaned up some stuff because of the demo. Let's go to this one. No, that's not a good thing because I want to see the metadata. So open with the Calibre book editor, then you can see the metadata. So this is what the book looks like under the hood. It's all HTML. So here you see the cover, landing page, blah blah. And at the end you see the book's metadata. Here you see OPF. If I double click, you see ISBN, you see the title. Of course, this is typical test data. I added a 1 to the end of all the fields to see if everything was mutated the right way. Creator is Sarah Pascoe. There's a description here. So most of these are in my tool, but not all. And there are also some metadata that are outside of this OPF file that Calibre had its own solution for, also with the OPF, like series or series index. That's not in this XML. So documentation is online. Well, it went a bit trial and error, the development of this tool. I overcomplicated, Cloud Code overcomplicated. I started out with, I can show you the picture. This is what I started out with. A picture of a bookshelf, opening it in Google Docs. So Google Docs has a functionality where you open a picture with the right mouse, you click on with the right mouse, there is some OCR in there. So I started out mimicking this and making one text file with 20 book titles in it. And it was only the day before yesterday that I finally dropped that idea because it was so complex to keep this functionality up. So you have to have one file per book. So you cannot do this by hand anymore in this way. You have to use a tool to get the markdown files from your bookshelf. Oops. So the multi-book files was my first overcomplication. I also started out with 2 ISBN codes, so one for the digital copy and one for the analog copy, but that was also far too complicated. So the tool has detection of double books, that's find duplicates. Am I in the right folder for this? Yes, there should be some duplicates. Okay, this is very a very bad match. Okay, maybe I cleaned up some test results. Maybe if I go a bit higher. Because we all have double books. So if you got books on your bookshelf, you also got them in your digital library. Oh, still working, 97%. Anyway, for this function, we only really need book title and book author. And there is some fuzzy logic. It comes up with a little too many doubles, but okay, this is taking quite a while. Let's. Hey. Anyway, let's move on. This is taking too long. Navigation was another struggle. At one point, I had 3 folder buttons. Now I have only 2. I started out with a back arrow for moving one folder up. I started up with a plus icon for going to the other tools. So the user interface was a struggle to make it intuitive. There's still quite buggy. There are still bugs in the program. Still lots to do actually. So for the sidecar files, there is no standard for books. Library uses OPF files. Booklore uses JSON files. Libib uses a database. I've been terughoudend. I've been holding back on adding too many frills. So I'd be interested to know what people want from an app like this. Do they want shelves? Do they want collections? Do they want stars? At the moment, the tool apps caps at 100 tags. It doesn't show any more at the bottom. At the moment, the Bookspine scanner does the scanning of the books and looking up in the database in one go. I think it should be 2 steps. There are no checks. Okay, found some duplicates. Okay, looks all right to me. So you can clean up your. So I've got 3 Clive Jameses. I'm going to delete 2, including all the sidecars. Okay, so twin function works. Wait a minute, what was I going to show you? I totally forgot. Oh yes. So if we got an EPUB here, we added the metadata. So the cover you cannot add. But ISBN, if I put 123, it'll take it. There's no checks on ISBN number or any of the other fields, because I looked at what Calibre did. It checked, well, ISBN should be 10 or 13 numbers, and it should always start with 978, but in Calibre it's also possible to fill in anything you want. So you will not invalidate the EPUB by doing this, but I would be interested to know what you guys think I should do with this. What fields are important? for the stars, for the rating, would you like to see stars instead of a number? So I'd be interested in your feedback. Um,
Do you want it now or later?
yes, now.
Because nobody reacts, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why.
I'm just waiting patiently if you wanted it now or after your presentation.
Yeah, I'll just show you this as a final cheat. Uh, this is what's happening for the metadata. So for EPUB, almost everything is stored inside the EPUB. For PDF, it depends on PDF, whether it's protected. CBR always needs a sidecar, but can be converted to CBZ. You need another tool to do that, but you can do that. Mobi, you could also convert to EPUB to get rid of a lot of the little files in your book collection. Yeah, I think now is a good time to get feedback from you.
I have a main question.
Yes.
What problem is this app solving for you? Why did you decide to build it aside from what you said that Calibre was giving you a fixed folder set that you didn't want to work with, but that's aside from the scanner. That's just how you
Yes.
store it. So
Yeah. Well, I'm just a collector. I need order in my life. I need to have control of my stuff. So, yeah, that's what this solves for me. And I really hate the fixed folder structure from Calibre. I looked into other tools like Libib, and I don't like cloud storage. I want it simple, no frills, offline. So,
yeah. Because from that perspective, my feedback is that you try to do too many different things with one app. Because
Okay.
for me, that's what I've been struggling with. For me, like registering a book in a shop that I might want to buy or might want to read is a different process from I want to know what my collection is.
yes.
So that would be my feedback. Like split that. Don't put that all that functionality because it gives you it's different needs that people have.
Yeah.
So you're trying to solve too many problems maybe in one go. But
Overcomplicating it.
Overcomplicating it, yeah.
Yeah.
Focus on the collection part or on the shop adding part and try to work on one of those domains.
Yeah, the reason I did that and also add all those metadata fields is because it felt like a quick win. Because I'm not interested in stars for my books. I'm not interested in series and series number. But when you delve into the interface and you see this is what's there, I also looked at the Goodreads interface. I was looking for some kind of standards. And I thought, well, when I delve into it and retrieve metadata, why not retrieve all of it? But it did mean extra work testing and for stuff that I don't individually plan on using.
Yeah.
So also for the ISBN scan on the Bookspine scanner, well, when you go and ask all these databases, why not put in an option to scan the ISBN number? Because you're almost there already. So that was
and I've been exploring that, but for me it's like, okay, I've got all these books. I want to know what books I have, and I want to put them in a digital collection so I know what I have. It's sort of answering a different question than, oh, there's a book here that I want to remember that I want to read.
Yes.
And it also needs a different place because I don't want that to be in between the books I already own, which I may have read or may not have read.
Yes.
So that's sort of where, but that was my cognitive split. So that might be different for you. So I'm curious to hear how others see the total of this project.
Yeah.
For me, it would actually be very interesting to be able to scan a book in a shop or in a mini library, see if I already have the book or not, because it happened to me several times already.
Yeah.
That I bought something or took something from a mini library, and just to find out that I already have it in my collection.
So that's a good point because
So, yeah.
yes, yes,
That would be very handy for me, actually.
yes.
Yeah, when you're out and about on a book market or wherever,
Yeah.
like.
But
do I
then the
already
scanner
have
has a
this one?
different purpose, so that's
Yes.
good to realize because
Yeah,
that would be
that's the
for.
main reason I would be interested in it.
It's not like, oh, I want to own this, I want to read it, but do I already have it? Have
Yeah,
that
exactly.
fact check.
Yeah.
But
Good
the
one.
thing is with a tagging system, if you have already read, haven't read yet, all of that can be easily sliced and diced to whatever you want.
Yeah,
So it's just one tag that can give you different views. Of all
but
that.
it's
So you
funny
can
because
furiously have
I haven't looked at the ISBN or the book scanner in that relation. So yes, thank you.
Question, I came
Yes.
a little bit later, but you said that you wanted to see what physical books you have and what digital books you have. How do you upload the physical books? Do you just take a picture and then it auto uploaded it?
I can quickly redo it.
That's impressive.
Because that's
also
also a very,
something I
very, very
find-
cool use case. Because you already have the titles and then the authors, which you can get the book identification number. So just this alone and having it in a format like Obsidian database or whatever you have, that is very cool.
Yeah, that's you can download it from GitHub. I'm gonna just.
Yeah, you don't even have to download it. It's just a web app.
Oh, you can just use it.
You can just use it. But
I'm gonna try it.
I tried it last month because you sent an email about it in the community already, but at that time it didn't work very well.
no, it's still.
It's
I
better
mean,
now.
it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need to manually adjust. And I think if, like, for example, you say, okay, this is not wrong. This is actually the book. You can fill in, like, here is a spelling error, like the triangle is read as an A. If you manually correct the titles and then run the database against it, but I need to make an improvement to make this a two-step process, because now it guesses from the backs what is the title and then immediately runs the results against the book databases. But if you say, okay, I've manually corrected the titles, now run it against the book, then it will be better.
But what you're saying is with the ISBN, if you can make the link between the name and the ISBN, then you have a central type of system to see which books you definitely have and which books you don't have. Does every book have an ISBN?
Well, for this test, no, not even this one. No.
Because then the next step is just to get the ISBN automatically from the book title it's trying to get.
Yeah, it could be improved. It's all a work in progress.
Very cool idea.
Yeah, so you can export to Markdown.
Can we add pull requests to your? Can we add pull requests to your repository?
Well, you can. Okay, I'll show one of the Markdown files. So you can have your own field names. You can customize, and I made a Reddit, but yeah, of course on GitHub you can also have pull requests. But don't expect too much because it's just little me doing this besides lots of other things. But yeah, I'm interested in feedback on this tool.
Do you still have time to read?
Well, at the moment, no. It's more collecting than reading, but like we were discussing, there is a Japanese word for that, for the joy of collecting books.
Yeah. Now, it was not a critical question. I struggle with it myself. I love order as well, and all this tech here at PKM as well. But there's I found a cartoon somewhere from a guy barking up the wrong tree. He has fantastic cartoons, and he once made one like, if you use something 10,000 times a year, then you can spend so many hours on developing a cool tool for it. But if you use it less, then the amount you can spend in creating something should also be wrong. And I'm really on the edge of playing too much around with software instead of enjoying, in this case, the reading itself. So that's why I try to simplify as much as possible and have my book collection in OneNote. as it is part of Microsoft and it's so easy integrated.
Mhm.
And I'm really happy with it because the search function is 1000% good. So then I don't need to fill in the fields and everything because it finds everything. And I just indeed scan the book cover and you can upload it either as an image or a PDF from my handy. So when I'm in the bookstore, I also have the same as you said. Then it sees immediately, oh, you have it already. So I'm happy with that. But I love seeing it. And sorry for being late. There was a roadblock. I was really looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is a rabbit hole that I'm happy to waste my time on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and have fun with it.
Yeah,
And learn from it.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we sort of started with this at the same time, and I have kind of a different approach. And I was triggered by what you said about like if you spend so many hours on it, then it's a problem you can solve with software. And so I started first building a tool and going that way, and then the scanner didn't, or the photo upload was not working well, and it was really giving me bad examples. And then I thought, well, scanning my collection is one time. Once it's scanned, it's scanned. So why should I build a tool for it? Only if you want to share it with others, right? Make it easier. And I found out that Cloud Code is actually really good with OCR. So I decided for that part, for the first inventory, not to build anything. I just upload my photos in Cloud Code, and I say like, okay,
work your magic.
do your thing. And these, and I made a file. They like, okay, look at open book database, whatever. Look at bookwinkeltjes, look at bol.com for missing covers or whatever, because my partner has all these dodgy old Russian literature from whenever that's no one knows about. And but it's pretty accurate actually, and I'm quite impressed with the functionality in Cloud Code in the terminal. So I now take pictures per shelf. So I sort of do the same structure, but I decide to go from Cloud Code straight to my Obsidian MD files for that part. And I think the second part for me is more interesting, like, okay, the fact check. Do I already have this book? Here's a new book. And I've been sort of chatting with Cloud Code, like, okay, what problems am I trying to solve? Oh, I want this sort of Goodreads story graph alternative where I can do I want to share with others? Do I want to rate? Do I want to keep it as a to read index? So I've been really looking for that. And then at some point I got to the point where, okay, no, the indexing of my collection, once I've done that, then it's keeping up. So I might need a tool for keeping up with it. But the first part I'm going to do in a sober way. So that sort of was my, and I looked at tooling as well. Did you look at Gelu?
No, I had ChatGPT and Cloud Code investigate what was already out there. I gave her, it's my specs.
Yeah.
Like, this is approximately what I want. It came up with some suggestions. If you turn on the planner mode, like, okay, this is roughly the architecture. For redoing the stock taking, if you do it shelf by shelf, it's quite easy. Like, once you realize, oh, these analog books can go because I've got the digital version, and you weed out stuff from your physical bookcase, you can just redo the stock taking, take more pictures, and you can do that shelf by shelf as well. So that's all in this tool.
Yeah. Now, Jadu is some kind of a catalog that you can run locally. So it's got some functionality like Story Graph and Goodreads and all that. So I was just wondering, I've been exploring that, but I wasn't too impressed with their interface. I like yours better. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. What I find difficult is maintaining the collection. So having the discipline to add new books there, because otherwise it gets muddled with existing collection and new collection not yet added. How do you take care of that? How do you...
Well, I haven't really tested that out myself yet, but if you store every physical bookshelf in a folder, and well, you've gone to the thrift store and gotten rid of some books and readjusted your shelves, you can retake pictures. and you know that you have this shelf in a separate folder, so you can clean up that folder.
So it's more of like every quarter retake your shelf pictures.
Yeah, when you get an uneasy feeling, like I'm not up to date with it, I want to retake stock, you can do that. Yeah. You got a question?
I also like physical books. So for majority of my life, every book that I read was a physical one. And then when I moved over to the Netherlands from South Africa, I had to like relinquish all my books. But I remember when I was still in South Africa, I would lend books to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Oh,
would
yes.
sometimes never get it back because they would forget that I lent it to them.
Mhm.
And they would argue with me, it's like, no, you didn't give it to me. I'm like, no, I definitely did. So feature request.
That's
maybe
right.
Have like a name of who you lending books to
Mm.
make sure they bring it back. And then they
You
like
could use tags for that. Like
yeah, of
lend
course.
/ and then the person's name, for example.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, it could work.
So that might be some feedback because you knew what to type in the tags and have your structure. So maybe people need some more guidance on the tag structure. That could
Yeah,
be a good.
That could be a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess you have your own ontology. So.
But
it
I
could
need
either-
reminders. So,
Mhm.
you know, I would think like, oh, my brain knows that this would be my structure. And then I find out I have 3
Mhm.
versions of writing my tag structure. So something that's,
Yeah.
I'm
In
not very,
Obsidian, it suggests tags that you already use. So you could go that way, like go to a structure slowly but steady by it prompting you with tags that you already use, or
that you can
could have a
recognize.
set of tags that you would advise.
Yeah.
This video is also a wonderful support instruction. If you upload it there, then people can start with that.
Mhm.
Lots of ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I intend to upload the video and put something on Notion like, okay, feedback please.
Yeah,
Yes.
lovely.
I'm gonna definitely try it out and see how it works on my dodgy Russian collection at home. Yeah. So because what sources do you use to find the data?
At the moment, Open Library, Google Books, Europeana, and the Library of Congress, 4 sources. So I'd be interested in your sources. Like,
Bol.com for Dutch books.
yeah, if they have an API, then I
No,
should
you can
definitely-
just let it scan the website and search for the books. You don't need an API.
Okay, we should definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just say go look at Bol.com and see if this book is there and get the data from the book. So
Okay.
that sort of
It's
is
scraping.
scraping. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the Royal Library could also be used, because I think they have every Dutch book that
Mhm.
ever
Yeah,
was ever
I'm not
published.
sure if they have an open API, the
I
KB.
think they use WordCat.
WorldCat doesn't have an open
Does not.
API, but when you run an ISBN number and it doesn't find it through the other databases, it puts a URL with the ISBN to WorldCat.
Ah.
So you're just one click away from the book info.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to do it by hand.
Do you think it? How do you
it's
feel
10
about the scraping? Because you're like, oh, scraping. I was like, okay, is that bad in this case?
Well,
They don't own the book
No.
titles, right? It's not
Yeah.
their intellectual property, so
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, oh, that's okay. They're just selling it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have a association of scraping. Oh, that's like
Yeah,
that.
well, I know, but so that's
Yeah, that
I'm
was
asking for
probably
friends.
my-
Yeah.
I don't have a poker face, so you immediately see my.
No, but I agree because you know when it comes to intellectual property, I'm just like, oh, it's somebody else's content. You cannot do that. But in this case, I feel less.
Because it's
Troubled.
a shop anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be free.
Yeah.
Should be free. But
Okay, I see we got 1 minute. I think it's a good moment to plug my books. They're over there.
Yay.
I've got to bring the tripod over to the next speaker, and then I'm gonna be here for 15 minutes to. Yeah, you can just browse through and.
Thank you, Will. Leuk.
thanks.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.